Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YNTAAY Minis. I'm Chris Smith, and this week I'm talking about that new hit movie, Halloween, not the classic from 1978. This is the new Halloween that picks up right where the old one left off. So you go from 1978 to 19, whatever year it is, 2018, 40 years later. And they're ignoring all the movies that you loved, like Halloween 2 and Halloween 3. Not that Halloween 3 had anything to do with the whole series, but I love the Halloween franchise, and I love Jamie Lee Curtis. And this new movie sure doesn't disappoint. And look at this great poster. Well, you can't really see it. Well, yes, you can. Okay, so there's Michael Myers' mask and Jamie Lee Curtis in profile. I just love that shot. And I love that the mask is good again. In some of the movies, it was just too bright white. Some of them, it just didn't look quite right. And this time, they've recreated the mask the way it's supposed to look from the original movie. So it is terrifying. Now, the movie has Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, as Laurie Strode. We have her. She's gone through trauma, as Jamie Lee Curtis will tell you in all the interviews she's done, which has been great watching all those interviews because she's so well spoken and she's just a delight. But it has Judy Greer as her grown daughter. And I was like, Jamie Lee Curtis is supposed to be the mother of Judy Greer, who's in her early 40s. And, but yeah, you know, it could happen. And then it has her daughter, her granddaughter, played by Andy Matichak. And the three generations of those Strode women are very good together. They've built a nice sort of backstory for what happened to Laurie after the horrific events of Halloween. Now, we watched Halloween the other night to refresh ourselves, even though I watch it all the time. Well, not all the time, but you know, from time to time I'll visit it. And, oh, and look, I'm wearing my Halloween shirt. And yes, it is one of those unfortunate looking masks, but what are you gonna do? And so we watched it on Friday night, me and my roommate, to prepare, and just to get a refresher so that the next day I could go right into the all-new Halloween. And at first, during the movie, I was not disappointed, but I was like, this isn't exactly what I was expecting. But it stayed with me in my brain, so the fact that I'm still thinking about it a lot is much the way my sister said that when she saw Stars Born, she liked it, but she didn't love it, the new Stars Born. And, but it just she kept thinking about it. And that's how Halloween has been with me. Because it's very strange. They do things where, like, scenes with two cops sitting in the car just talking about what food they're going to eat. And you're like, why are they doing this? That part sort of reminded me of like a Twin Peaks type moment where you're like, what does this have to do with anything? But it is a nice character building thing. Oh, and there's this little boy in it. I must mention him. This little boy is named Julian, and he's played by Jabril Nantambu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. And he's being babysat by this girl named Vicky, and she's played by Virginia Gardner. Now, they have really good chemistry, bantering back and forth, and this little boy is hilarious, cursing and saying to the babysitter, "You're inviting your friends over to smoke weed, I'm telling." And it was just very funny. And it's her who encounters Michael Myers in those scenes you've seen where the closet door opens up and he's in there. But yes, look for that little boy because he steals the show. So Will Patton is in it as Frank Hawkins, the sheriff's deputy. And there's a new doctor who studied under Dr. Loomis, from the Donald Pleasance from the original movie and all the series, which we're to now ignore, but just for this movie. But Yes, and his name is Dr. Sartain, sorry. Um, and there's a twist with Dr. Sartain that I just didn't really agree with. I'm like, what? But I won't tell you what that is, of course, because I don't do spoilers. Unless I say three, two, one, and spoiler. But I won't. So, some of the things that happen in the movies, I'm like, huh? But I really liked the movie, I must say. Oh, now, as you know, Halloween is one of my favorite times of year. Look at these amazing eyeballs that I bought for the Halloween season. They're all knowing and all seeing eyeballs. And look at this one. So I'm going to use them to tell the future. And you don't need me to tell you that Halloween 2018 is already a huge hit. I saw that it has made, as of yesterday, had made like 77 point something million dollars in its opening weekend. That's domestically. And that is amazing. So maybe we'll get some more Halloweens out of this. I can't tell you whether or not it's set up that way, if Jamie Lee Curtis is still alive at the end, or if Michael Myers, not Jamie Lee Curtis, but Laurie Strode. That Jamie Lee Curtis is just so wonderful. And it's sort of a bleak existence what happens to Laurie Strode, because she's so traumatized from that night all those years ago in the original Halloween. Thank goodness that in the new version she didn't end up having to go to the hospital and then everybody in the hospital being killed, because can you imagine how traumatizing that would be? Not to mention if you had to change your name and then run a private school all those years later and then have people murdered again there. So at least she just goes from that first one to this, and that's traumatizing enough. And boy, Michael Myers kills a lot of people in this movie, so spoiler alert. So yes, I recommend Halloween, and I'm gonna go see it again, and I'll probably love it even more. So, and I must mention that it was directed by David Gordon Green, and he also wrote it with Jeff Fradley and Danny McBride, the actor. So Danny McBride should have been in the movie. Wonder if he makes a cameo and I just didn't see him. I don't think so. But yes, I thought it was very well made. It didn't really look like the Haddonfield that I was expecting, because it seemed a little, well, I mean, we all know it's a small town, but it seemed a little hillbilly. Not hillbilly in like the Rob Zombie movies where everybody had long hair and seemed like crystal meth users, but it was just, it was a little backwoods, and I wasn't expecting that from parts of Haddonfield. But yes, I really liked it, and I recommend that you go see Halloween for Halloween. Okay, and look, of course, here's Leif, always with me. He sort of looks like a creepy Halloween tree. Huh? No offense. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Happy Halloween.